Oh, this what they've been waiting on? Ha ha ha. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Let's go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Late night sports talk. Y'all ready to go? Gringo be hitting his points. Tom coming in and he won't disappoint. Nah. He be swinging for the fences and striking you out. Now let's see what this is all about. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Ready to go. River ready to go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Hey, it's done right about now.
Let's go, Yankees! All right, this is the Gringo and Tom Show. As always, my name is Gringo, sporting the Yankees hat today, straight out of the Bronx.
Hey.
And we got my boy over here.
You got Tom, what up? I got my Swisher shirt.
Show him.
It's gonna be
got
weird,
Swish.
but
Swish number 33. That is a classic 5 years with the New York Yankees.
I love Swish.
Great person on and off the field.
Personality.
Yes. Well, let's get to talking about baseball. Let's go. All right, this weekend in MLB, the Dodgers signed Pujols to be basically a player on the bench after he basically had a huge argument with the Angels about not getting enough playing time. So now he's basically saying "F you" to the Angels. What do you think, Tom?
We just talked about this on Friday's show. I mean, what the heck, Pujols? I understand, though. We all know why he went to the Dodgers and didn't care about the role he's having. We all know what it's about.
Ugh. Don't even get me started.
About the ring. That's not my middle finger. That's my ring finger. Right? It's the ring.
He wants another ring to add. And you can't blame him, but
I don't blame him.
I'll be honest with you. I thought he was going to be in an American League team.
I thought so too, or at least
being
the
a designated hitter.
I thought he was either going to go to a National League team that could promise him playing every day, or at least like some of the time, or an American League team, but not the Dodgers playing him on the bench. A little shock there.
Imagine this. Think about it like this now, guys. Can you imagine? Let's say the Cardinals and the Dodgers in a DS or a CS going against his former team, pinch hitting for maybe to win a game. Can you imagine in Busch Stadium?
Dude, that's like classic drama right there. I would pay to see that.
Even though he was an amazing player with them, they would not forgive him for that.
They would not forgive him for sure. Oof. All those years with the Cardinals, and then he just goes to the Dodgers and like, oh, sorry, I'm here to beat you now.
Adios. Oh my gosh. But we'll see what happens with him. We'll see if they give him more. If he does well in his pinch hit opportunities, you never know. They can give him a little 2 or 3 starts a week, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
You know, a new mindset, a new team. He's been in that Angels organization for what? 10 years?
About 10 years now. Yeah.
Maybe that could freshen up. That could help out his situation, especially now that's giving him more of a motivation to give a big F you to the Angels. So let's see what happens.
I'm always giving the Dodgers the benefit of the doubt with moves like this. So I hope it works out. We'll see what happens, man.
That's right. That's
see
right.
What happens.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next segment. And we're going to be talking about the Yankees beating the Orioles 2 games out of 3. This is the second or third time that they had an attempt at sweeping a series and they weren't able to get it done. Talk to us about the series. What are some highlights?
Third straight series, you're right, where they could not finish the sweep. They win the first. Actually, no. They didn't win the first 2 games in the Nationals, but another 2 out of 3. They couldn't complete the sweep in Tampa, but then so close this time as well. I thought they definitely played enough to win. They played well enough to win in Sunday's game, but it just didn't work out that way. Montgomery got a bit unlucky. I was watching. The Orioles were just getting some balls to fall in. That's what happens. It's baseball. You can't really be too mad about that. I hear people saying Jordan Montgomery should be pulled from the rotation. Oh.
What?
Well, I'm like,
they're
no.
high off their high horse with that one.
No, they definitely are.
I'll be honest with you. If we're really talking about the rotation, Tyone is the worst out of everyone.
Tyone's had his struggles. He definitely has. I still believe in him to turn it around, but if there's anyone in the rotation who's looking a little shaky, it's not Montgomery.
No.
I think he's done a solid job. He pitched well against the Rays his last start before this, so people need to ease up a bit.
Fans just think about what have you done for me lately.
It's always what have you done for me lately. Absolutely. That is
But in
overdone.
terms of that, they say what have you done for me lately in terms of what have you done the last start, not what you did 2 starts ago when you were lights out.
It's extremely short-sighted, tunnel vision, and it's always focusing on the bad, never the good. Because you saw Stanton, he was on the hot streak heading in the last couple of weeks, but then as soon as he gets an injury, everybody's like, he's a waste of money again. Like, it's always that. It's always focusing on the negatives especially these big market teams. But it is what it is. We've seen this. We've lived it for all these years. We know.
Oh my gosh! It just Yankees fans. Let's calm down a little bit. We were in a big hole. We were in a big hole in mid-April.
5-10.
So no, not even that. I think we were even more of a bigger hole than that.
It was pretty bad.
And now that we're in the position we are, trying to get first place, trying to get the Red Sox out of first. And now you guys are saying, oh, Stanton is injured. Oh, Montgomery is this. You got to understand, yes, it's been 11 years since he's won something, but you have to be patient in terms of trying to see how the chemistry can work with this team. Calm it down.
Oh, sheesh, man.
My gosh. And speaking of Stanton, obviously he's on the IL, and we just don't want... We want things to go the way they're supposed to go, where he plays 162 or something equivalent to that, but he's not that type of player, and he's shown that. No.
I don't know why people aren't remembering that he was injured like this with the Marlins too. This is just the type of player he is. He doesn't stay healthy. He's a really big dude with really big muscles, with a lot of tightness. Like, when you're that strong, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with your body.
That's right.
Because you're so tightly wound, just like Judge.
Speaking of Judge, the other Bash brother, Judge has come back to life, and people say, even though he had like a 2-game like little scuffle thing, and people saying, oh, he's struggling.
Yeah, it was 2-3 games. He wasn't really off for that long.
12 home runs, 23 RBIs.
That deserves a sheesh right there.
Woo,
sheesh.
He's now come back to life and just done a wonderful job. He's done a wonderful job.
That's an understatement, bro.
You love to see that Judge is back, because that means, especially now that Voigt's here, that's when, the real leaders, the guys who are here to like get it done, are just showing up, and that's what we like to see as Yankees fans. That's
Absolutely.
what we love to see. There we go. Let's see what the Yankees can do now they play against Texas. Cole is going to be on the mound tonight, so let's see. Texas, they're okay.
They played a little better than you would expect, but I don't think they're a very good baseball team. They're a rebuilding team, as we know.
Yes. And let's move on now to the Padres sweeping the Cardinals without Tatis, without Hosmer, and without Will Myers.
Impressive.
Wow. It just shocks me that, the Cardinals, like, people like to say, oh, so if the Cardinals got swept by the Padres, then that means that the Padres are better than the Dodgers because this and this and this. People like to insinuate stuff that makes zero sense.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of back from the what have you done for me lately kind of thing. It's like that too. So, yeah, the Padres are a really good baseball team, but they're not better than the Dodgers. Or, I mean, we don't know yet. You can't make enough conclusions from that because it's still only May, and we still only just barely passed a quarter of the season. I can't believe it's a quarter of the season, but still a lot of season to go.
A lot of season to go, and let's be honest, the teams that really make it into the postseason, they really, really show out when it's time, which is around late June, early July. That's when you'll really know when a team is going to make a run. That's when you really know, because that's when they set themselves up for the trading deadline. When they could say, oh, we have these resources, we can trade you for that. And then that's when you can build for a long postseason run.
We saw the Padres do that last year. I mean, it was a shorter season with the trade deadline coming up quicker, but that's what they did. They loaded up at the trade deadline. They were pretty dangerous.
That's right. So, although the Padres did a great job of sweeping them, let's not put things to where like, oh, because they swept them, now they're like the top team in the West. Let's not talk about that.
100% agree with you, bro.
And the other way around, that the Cardinals are trash, even though
they're pretty good.
They're really good.
They got some problems, but doesn't every team have a problem at this point?
Yes.
There's a bunch of flawed teams, but the Cardinals have a lot of good things going for them. Nolan Arenado's a beast. Goldschmidt hasn't really gotten it going yet. And then their pitching staff's doing pretty well. Jack Flaherty I think he's an ace. I don't know. I've heard some things that he's kind of like overperforming this year, but I don't know. I think he's really good. I think he'll be fine. I think the Cardinals are the team to beat in the Central, especially with Yelich, dude. He's having problems.
And also, too, you got to add on to it. Let's be honest. The Central is not that strong. It's pretty weak.
It's bad.
It's pretty weak. And, you know, the NL East has really underperformed. But let's be honest. The Central is the worst in terms of all of the what is it again? Sorry, my head is what were you gonna say?
Oh no. But like, I see what you're saying. The Central's just it's mediocre division.
Yeah.
But then you have a team like the Pirates who are somehow like kind of showing up a little bit. Like they're showing up a little earlier than we thought. We're like, hey, what are you doing there? They took a split with the Giants this past week.
Yeah, there you go.
They won a couple late games because of the extra inning rule, but still, they won those games fair and square.
That's right.
Pirates aren't a horrible team, but that's kind of the story of the Central. They're not horrible, but are they good? Huh?
That's right. And we'll see what happens in terms of the situation in the Central.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of the Central, let's talk about Nick Castellanos hitting a home run and fist pumping a fan. And the storyline with that was the fact that after the game, when they had an interview with Castellanos, the Reds team, they what is it called? Those people, the broadcasters.
Yeah.
They wanted to talk to the fan right there to see what led to that, and the fan just straight up said
he was covered.
He was just literally like, think about the ball as Rob Manfred. Think the baseball as Rob Manfred. And Castellanos' face was priceless. He was like, he's not wrong.
He didn't deny anything. That was my favorite part. This is probably the funniest thing that's happened all year in baseball. I just love Castellanos' reaction. He's like, "Nah, you're right. I did think that. I think Manfred's dirt." It's so funny.
Manfred I'll give it to you, the first year and a half, he was an okay commissioner.
He was doing fine. Yeah.
Yes. But when things arrived in the manner they did, in basically having a blind eye to certain cheating scandals,
yes,
that's when we draw the line. That's when we have to figure out, listen, you cannot do that as a commissioner. That's basically allowing other teams to cheat however they want to.
Exactly.
And not...
You saw the Red Sox take advantage of it too.
And not get anything, not even a slap on the wrist.
No, not really. The players they lost the draft pick and then the GM and the manager got fired. That's it. That's really it.
Sad.
And then, what else was I going to say? The fact that they were changing the baseballs and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, we're not changing the baseballs. But then he kind of admitted this year, oh yeah, we're changing the baseballs to make home runs go down. No. So he's kind of been like, what are we supposed to believe with this guy? I've lost my faith in him.
He's a clown.
He's just so hard to read, and that's not good. You don't want the guy who's in charge of Major League Baseball to be hard to read.
No.
Yeah, it's not been the greatest tenure for this man. Definitely.
He needs to be kicked out. And not even that. Whoever's next to him, his base also needs to be wiped out too. Because they're allowing this too. If I was in his circle, I would be honest with him. I'm saying, listen, you're doing this and this and this. I don't care whether you're the head. Whether I get fired or not, we need baseball to be in a better state than it is right now.
And this is what's frustrating about it. I think baseball is only a couple of changes away from being like truly a great sport again. I don't think that it's really missing all that much. I think that he needs to make like a couple changes here and there, but it feels like every change he makes, you're making something new that's even worse.
And that's with also adding in more resources to the youth. allowing them to be more into the game instead of let's be honest, people our age are gonna be like, oh, baseball, all you do is sit there and look at a ball and then the ball's hit and then that's it.
Yeah. And then they'll say you don't really move much. If you're on the field, you're standing
like
there.
It's just a bunch of fat guys. It's just a bunch of fat, chubby guys running bases and hitting the ball. Like, there's nothing special about that. You have to really...
They need to promote it to the youth.
Promote it in a better way. And it comes with having people our age promote it. Because this is our age group.
Yeah, they got to be more like the NBA. I know NBA isn't perfect either, but... They've definitely done a much better job catering to the youth. Yeah, they're very progressive. They try a bunch of new things.
Yes.
So MLB needs to be a little more like that. But there's not much that has to change in order for them to be really, really great.
That's right.
So hopefully that can happen in the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
It's important. It really is.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're going to end our segment with that. Castellanos and the commissioner. If we keep on talking about that, we're gonna be crazy red and pissed. So we don't want that to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, well,
so
go Castellanos. That's all I'm going to say.
Castellanos, great
My
job.
boy.
Yes. All right. So next segment, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the dream team that we did for last week.
Dream team.
We're heading to first base. And we actually talked about this player beforehand. I'm going to pick the best first baseman, in my opinion, that I would have on my team is actually Albert Pujols. Prime Albert Pujols. Give me 2003 Albert Pujols. Give me 2003 Albert Pujols, who was pulling 40, 47, 48 home runs, 122 RBIs with a batting average of like 290, between 290 and 310. Sign me up for that.
Just stupid numbers, man. He was something else. We know that. Albert Pujols, nobody was better in that 10-year span with the Cardinals. That is an amazing pick, dude.
Yes.
But I'm going to go with a former Yankee legend, Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
My man.
Yes.
He played a bunch of games in a row. He played with the Lou Gehrig's disease. Still played decent baseball.
Crazy.
With that. It was amazing. And he was basically the Robin to Batman, who was Babe Ruth.
That's right.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, he's my pick. He was a tremendous hitter.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. So, Albert Pujols, Lou Gehrig, two legends. That is something that is just great to see. And next week, we're going to be talking about, next episode, we're going to be talking second base.
Second base.
Second baseman on our dream team.
There's a lot of good picks that could be that we could choose from for that.
That's right.
Look forward to that, everyone.
All right. And to end the show, we're actually going to be talking about this day in MLB history. And what a great this day in MLB history. David Wells, 13th perfect game in Major League Baseball history against the Twins. He was buzzed, by the way. He was drinking. He was drunk.
I totally don't doubt that. I totally don't. That man was drinking all the time.
One thing that I remember looking at a Yankeeography was the superstition of having a perfect game or a no-hitter, where like he was freaking out. He was like, I need to talk to someone. I want to know what's going on. And he actually consulted with David Cohn when everyone else wasn't willing to talk to him. He was telling him, hey, what can I do? I know you can't talk to me right now, but what can I do to actually get this done? To get the late innings, I don't want to keep throwing my fastball. He told him try a knuckle curve. And then that's where he was getting his pop-ups. That's when he was getting different types of strikeouts and stuff, and that's what actually led him to.
They didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
No.
So
wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so in terms of superstitions, he basically broke that and it ended up working out for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I always love that story because you don't even hear about perfect games that much anymore. They're kind of getting really...
No hitters are common, but...
Yeah, perfect games are super tough because you got to now walk guys. Everybody's walking these days again, and it's just tough to do. So, yeah. You always love a good story about a perfect game. I didn't know that he kind of changed things up in the later innings. Well, it worked, as we know, because he ended up getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, David Wells, a pretty good Yankee pitcher, and David Cohn, another great Yankee pitcher. He was a borderline Hall of Famer.
Two Davids helping each other out with another perfect game.
Awesome stuff, man. Yeah, that was cool.
All right. Well, that's the Gringo and Tom show for today, and we'll see you next time.
Have a blessed week.
Oh, this what they've been waiting on? Ha ha ha. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Let's go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Late night sports talk. Y'all ready to go? Gringo be hitting this points. Tom coming in and he won't disappoint. They be swinging for the fences and striking you out. Yeah. Now let's see what this is all about. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Ready to go. River ready to go. It's the Gringo and Tom Show. Y'all ready to go? Hey, it's starting right about now.